In this session of DAC Delivery Manager, we're going to do some tote scanning or container scanning. We use the term container, it's a little more generic, and do a couple other minor things to show you how to use the application. So I'm going to click the container button to start scanning totes or containers. You'll notice that there are 4 containers that are involved on this particular invoice. So you have an invoice number, the customer number for verification, is in this column over here. So there are 2 ways to scan from here. One is to scan directly on this page using the container ID at the top. You can certainly do that. A little more efficient way, if you have a lot of containers to do, is to use the scan times 30. So I'm going to use that button. Click there, and it gives you a place to scan in up to 30 different totes. And when you fill this screen out, or even before you fill it out, you can hit submit and then proceed. So you can do it multiple times. So what I'm going to do is just scan a few tote labels here that I've got. And you'll notice that the cursor is advancing to the next field as I scan. And so I'm going to scan 3 entries, and then I'm going to hit the submit button. I had a 4th, but I want to show you what happens when you don't have all of them in there. So I hit submit, and it's come back, and now I only have 1 tote left, and that's because the ones I scanned are hidden temporarily, or hidden so that you can see what's left to do. So now you know if you see something still here, there's still something on the truck, or that you haven't scanned yet. I can use this little drop down that says show checked and say yes. And then that will bring back the totes that I did scan. That you'll see there's a check mark beside those, so you can see what you've done and what you haven't done. And that little drop down is a toggle back and forth. So now I go back and figure out what I need to go find. So this would be, typically might be 50, 75 totes on a large stop, however many it happens to be, and how they're broken down. You can also see the contents with this little circular button of what is in the tote. If your particular picking system feeds back item level information of what is in each tote, you can certainly do that. My demonstration here is not set up to illustrate that, but that is something you can do. So after you scan some things, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just jump out of here, hit the exit button, go back, and then what it also presents you is every item that is different. If it's lower than expected or higher, then it will show in this list here. And so if I had a tote that contained all these items in it, when I scanned it, those items will disappear from this exception list. But that's letting you know that at a item level of detail, what the contents of those totes are and what you've missed, or if you've scanned something, maybe you're scanning item by item, and you can either scan high or low, and you can actually manually update some entries in here in case the label gets damaged or something of that nature. I'm going to press exit and go back. Now we're back on our main page, and just for the sake of illustration, I'm going to key in, we collected $100 on this, and that was check number 45678, and we picked up 3 totes while we're here, and I'm not going to worry about recording the odometer setting for that particular stop. You can certainly do that. In real practice, I'm not too certain how much that really happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the submit button, or actually the complete button, which is green, which is the submit button. And that updates the information. Now, if I go back to all stops, I can continue to do some things here, but you'll notice how this check mark has now appeared, indicating that it believes I'm through with this particular stop. If I go back to all stops, you'll see now there's a check mark out here on the landing page. So that's an indication as you work down through the route. Obviously, if you get to a stop and they're not ready to take a delivery, you can jump ahead to another stop if you need to. So you can navigate through this landing page in the sequence in which everything is dictated. So that's a little bit about the main page, and there'll be more, so stay tuned.